KK Candace, this I forgot this. I put KKK Candace and Fran correct. She's like, no, it's Candace.
It's Candace.
That's how it goes. Candace Owens is in the news again because she's being sued by the French president and first lady for defamation. We were talking about that
I'm here
today.
for it.
All of it.
Light her ass up. It's a little too late, but better late than never. There's also a 2024 study that is telling us what we already know. The U.S. birth rate is down.
Crazy.
We're not having no babies, and the patriarchy would let you believe that it's all about women just focusing on their careers and, you know, this is anti-family. But we're going to pull the receipts on that because it's a little bit more.
It's a lot of bit more. Ready? It's a lot of bit more that y'all are ignoring.
It's expensive, and hey, I maybe don't want to die. Like that's the good reason.
That part is too fucking expensive. And I know y'all were wondering what happened to Red Lobster. They didn't go away, but they filed for Chapter 11, but they are back. From Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the new CEO ran to the comments, took some notes, and got folks sucking on their crab legs again. Okay.
The fact that you said sucking on crab, and I know that's what we do. Trust me, I will suck one down.
Girl, I know you will.
To describe it in that way is so foul.
That is where all of my humor lies.
Ooh, wait. No.
Listen. Wait.
I hate you for that.
Let me fix it.
Welcome back to Let Me Fix It, class. Like I started before and I failed. I'm DeLon Grant. I'm an actor, a singer, photographer, writer, and an educator.
Welcome back. I'm Francesca Ramsey. I'm an actress. I'm a pod.
You're a pod. This is a pod.
I'm Francesca Ramsey. I'm an actress. I'm a producer, a writer, and a former graphic designer. Welcome back to Let Me Fix It, the podcast that says...
Welcome back to Let Me Fix It, the podcast where, girl, if you ain't learned it, you gon' learn it now.
Oh, that's right.
That's great.
We had a listener submitted tagline from our girl, Christine Rose. And she's not just a fan of the pod. She's a voiceover actress.
Okay.
So she said, I'm not going to send one, not two, but 3 takes. Okay?
Your option. You have choices. Okay. Wow.
She has the range. And let me just say, Christine, everyone was better than the last. So I know she is booked and busy. You better get these jobs in this failing economy.
That part. But also, like, not only your setup, I could hear, like, there's no ambient sound around what she's recording. So I see your voiceover setup. But also, like, the kind of jovialness that she added to what she was saying wasn't flat. It was very, like, bubbly and, like,
DeLon,
excited.
Every take gave you something a little bit different. It was genuinely hard. I went with the second take. I feel like, that's for me, all of them were really great, but I was like, let me just go straight down the barrel. And just delightful. Class, please send us a tagline to lemmefixitpod@gmail.com and we might use yours in the show. Let's dive in. Let me fix it.
Ka.
So I just put this in here very quickly to just talk about some music stuff.
It was well done.
Beyoncé brought out Destiny's Child for the final stop of Cowboy Carter. And do you think, DeLon, does this mean that we're getting a Destiny's Child reunion for Act 3?
I mean, depending on your question, I just it never gets old. I know it's been like 12 years or something since she's done this because I think she did it on the Cowboy Carter tour or something like that.
No, she did it. She did it at the Super Bowl. At the Super Bowl when she performed, she brought them out.
Come up on oh no, you're right. It was just Super Bowl. Anyway, it never gets old. This gimmick. Please trot them out all the fucking time because we die. My brain explodes.
I got choked up when I saw the clip of it. It was
and
just
you know what my favorite part
incredible.
is like when they're walking down. The 3 of them are walking down. Kelly's on the wrong leg, and then she does a little ball change, girl, to get on that foot. I was like, that's a professional bitch. That's a professional bitch.
Yes. My favorite part when they're walking down the steps is how carefully Michelle is going because she said, you know what?
You catch me once and you'll never forget.
Relatable queen. Because let me tell you, there are times where Beyonce is powering on those steps and I get so nervous.
Girl.
And that would be me. That would be me.
Well, because
down.
lest we forget her falling down them stairs in whatever her first solo tour was. Ready?
And I saw a clip recently where she tripped and she caught herself. She did like a catch. It was just so professional and smooth, but it made me so nervous because it's the heel and the knee and the whatever. So
and 40, right?
Yeah,
okay.
40, she's 43. So
okay. But to answer your question, I don't know that there's a reunion tour coming or like a big, but I wonder if on the
album.
The third installment, is that what you're talking about? Yeah. I think on the third installment of whatever this trifecta she's creating, Beyonce's creating, they might have a song or two. That would be cute. That would be real cute.
And look, I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, a Destiny's Child album would be great. I could do a song. I could do a song or two.
Yeah, nobody wants all that.
Or you know what? Keep it cute and do 3 DC, because it's DC 3, whatever.
I dig that.
But I still need Act 3 to be rock. And she's given us so many little Easter eggs that make us think it's rock. So
something I saw about this rock icon, Betty Davis.
And she had it like in the costume.
And so like, it seems like she's going to, there's a lot of like, what you're talking about Easter eggs, but she's going to do a big homage to Betty Davis in the next album. Can't wait.
I just want rock, period, because like, let's be real, rock and roll is Black people music, and so far this is
American music is Black music. Like,
but it's really been about her paying homage to Black art forms with Renaissance and like house music, and then country music, and then rock would make sense. So
it is such a great gift too. Like what a great, like a historical gift for Black people, but for America to be like, hey, lest we forget, this is how this stuff originated, right? The stuff that you love and enjoy so much is American, but it's Black American.
It's yes. Okay. What if you loved Black people like you loved Black culture?
How about that? Like Fern was saying at the beginning, the U.S. fertility rates reach a new low. This is a 2024 study, according to the CDC. So people are marrying later and are also worried about their ability to have money, health insurance, and other resources needed to raise the children in a stable environment. But like Fran kind of alluded to, class, it's not only that like women are in the workplace and it's a money thing. I think money is probably the biggest factor.
Yes.
Because I'll also say we're not the only country. We talked about this on the pod before. Korea's birth rates are down. South Korea's birth rates are down. I just saw something about Italian birth rates are down. Swedish birth rates are down. People are fucking, but they just are not having kids. But the other thing about this study,
another thing that's not in here that I think is also part of it is I think a lot of hetero women are just decentering men. Oh. And they're like, you know what? Like, we're not going to do this with y'all anymore. Yeah. And I will also add, I'm going to say TikTok is a little responsible because shout out to all the moms on TikTok really demystifying what it is to be a parent. They are on the app. I cannot tell you, Delon, how many videos I've seen of moms with the house is a fucking mess, a baby on their hip, and they just look at the camera, they go, don't do it. Don't
PSA.
Don't do this.
Wow.
Unless you really want to do it. And the amount of women who identify as married single moms, meaning they have a husband, but they are basically raising the child by themselves. And a lot of women are going, you know what? I'm not going to do it. No,
I know several of my female friends who have 2 kids, but actually have 3 because, they're also caring for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But the other factor of this was teen birth rates are down, which is why there are fewer babies being born, which let's snap for that.
And
that's actually a good thing.
That is that's a great thing. I mean, I will also say it's also, I've heard the streets are saying that the youngins are not having sex. That they're not doing it.
I think I've noticed this too.
I've heard that. And so, on the one hand, I want young people to explore and in a safe way. Don't get me wrong there.
Yes.
But it is also troubling, all of these attacks on reproductive care, whether it be defunding Planned Parenthood or the overturning of Roe v. Wade. I've said this before, and people called me, conspiratorial here, but they are humming for birth control. They want us to have babies. They want more white babies, first of all.
Well,
but then they also know that if you do have a child as a teenager, your chances of being stuck in a cycle of poverty go up.
wow.
It's harder to make money and have a job and get a secondary education if you have a child when you are a teenager. I mean, it's just like that prison, school to prison pipeline.
Totally.
They want more children to go into the system. So
it's also crazy too, because like the education part of it, I think is the thing that's keeping teenagers anyway from having kids as well. It's like, we had health class and contraception and all that kind of stuff. But to your point, like not only is it education, knowing what you can do, what's available to you. I would assume I'm not a woman. I didn't grow up as a woman, obviously. But as a woman, like you see like, oh, I can have birth control, all the things. But also you're aware that like you don't have to have sex if you don't want to. You don't have to say yes to this man if you don't want to. You know what I mean? Whereas before there was like a lot of perhaps undue pressure around that. Yeah. I would also say like no is a strong, lovely word. And the idea that people, to your point about decentering men, like if you're saying, no, I don't want to do that, I don't actually have to do that. I think that's really important too,
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a lot of things. I do think the pressure is still there. I mean, unfortunately, the pressure comes from everywhere. I think I told you a story. At one time I was in an Uber and my ex was taking me to saying goodbye to me. And my Uber driver was like, is that your husband? I was like, yeah. He's like, do you have any kids? I'm like, no. And this man's proceeded to spend the entire Uber ride lecturing me about how the clock was ticking and if I don't have kids. And I'm like, you are my Uber driver. Like, get out of my fucking uterus. Like, I don't know you. So I think the pressures are still there, but I do think that a lot of women are realizing
that they don't have to succumb to it.
They don't have to succumb to it, but also like a better understanding of like what you're signing up for. Like I often joke that motherhood is the original pyramid scheme because like there's all of these unforeseen things that happen in motherhood that like nobody tells you about.
Right. And
so I think people are realizing, oh, it like has supreme health risks. It's really expensive. Not to say that you can't have career goals in the life that you want as a parent, but I think a lot of people are really analyzing the choice that they are potentially making and the consequences of it, and also like our crumbling world. I don't want to bring a kid into this shit. This is rough out here.
Well, and I wonder too if like the swing of the pendulum is like not only the education like we keep talking about, but like the unlearning of like expectation. Like I have to do this thing. At this point, I'm supposed to do this thing with my life. And turns out like, we millennials in particular, but Gen Z are also like the most therapized generation of people. So like the more you focus on self, the more you're like, oh, what actually do I want?
Yeah.
I'm society's telling me to do X, but not only do I not want to do that, but I'm, to your point, I'm analyzing it and going like, what are the pros and cons? The other thing that I think is interesting is birth rates of women 30 to 40 are up.
Yeah.
Which is like, I think that, what does it tell me? It tells me that like people are just waiting to have money and resources and think through the steps and what the repercussions are. Oh yeah. And doing it later.
Yeah. I think it's that. I think it's, the fertility options that are available for women later in life, have become a little bit more accessible and people are talking about them. They're not as stigmatized, but I think you're also right. It's a lot of people going, you know what? I want to wait until I have this much money in the bank or I've accomplished certain career goals. The thing I hear from everybody that I know that has kids is they always say there's really no, like you're never ready. Like you think you're ready. You're like, I'm ready. I have all of these things. And then you get the kid and you're like, holy shit, this is more than I ever anticipated. So
they're breathing there all the time.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, shout out to those of you that have kids. Shout out to those of you who've decided that you don't want to have kids or you're waiting or whatever. It's a big choice. But again, I'm not surprised the rates are down because in my circle of friends, there's only there's a handful of us, but the rest of us are like, no, we good.
I just can't.
There's no room in the inn.
My barren womb. My mom had 3 kids by the time she was 32.
That's
3 kids.
intense.
It's just crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, and that's not to poo-poo anyone. Look, listen, I have beautiful nieces and nephews. You know, I love them. It is somebody's ministry. Thank God.
Keep
the
yours.
Population go, girl. No. And I remember being very young and trying to reconcile being gay and like being like, well, why, if I'm an atheist, but like if there is a God, why did God create me in this way, or why did God create gay people? And one of the rationales I came up with, which was very astute, is that it's population control.
No,
I'm honest to God. I was like, it's population control. There are too many people on the planet, and so he's like, I'm gonna pepper the world with these little gifts, these fairies to manage the population.
I'm gonna push back to say that there are tons of queer people that still have hetero.
It's a teenager's theory. It's a teenager's theory.
But I will say the other part that I think about is that, when they say it takes a village, like we need villagers. Like everybody can't be a parent. Like your kids need adults in their lives that are not their mom and dad or are not family members or that don't have kids. Like they need to see other models of adulthood. And those adults can enrich a child's life in very specific and distinct ways that their parents don't. And I think that that's how you create well-rounded humans. So that's my ministry. I'm in my stepmom era. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be the cool mom with a convertible and a chunky necklace on. Like that's who I am.
I mean, you do have a child with an underbite, so you got a lot to do with that already.
Let's move on to Red Lobster because they are in celebration mode. They are officially out of bankruptcy.
Go on ahead.
Okay, so we talked about them on the pod. I don't even know how many seasons ago. And we talked about them as a potential fix to zero in on those biscuits. We really felt like that was
cheddar biscuit.
That was the thing that was going to bring them back. But what actually happened is they got a new CEO. He's a young fella, a millennial. 36-year-old Damola Adamokulun. I don't know. How do you think I did?
Adamolakun is what I would say.
Adamolakun. I'm going to say that works. Under his leadership, Red Lobster has turned things around. They introduced this seafood broil bag,
which is so smart.
Everybody says it's bad.
Have you ever been in one of these? Like a where they bring out the bag, literally a trash bag on the picnic table?
I fucking love a seafood broil. Are you kidding? I know.
Crazy.
I know you're not a big seafood person.
I mean, I'm gonna dip my finger in there once.
Listen, when they bring the bag and everything's in the juices, you just want to poke a little hole in that bag and suck it like a little titty.
Wait a minute now, you lost me. You lost me. Are you talking about them sucking them crab legs?
Yes, Delon, that bag. But he also introduced $5 mixed drinks.
Oh,
okay.
You talking about? I thought this was like a soda thing. You talking about like a cocktail?
Oh, they've introduced. I mean, I don't know how many, but like
$5 cocktail.
But they've got some new stuff on the menu. They've upgraded the menus. They've revamped the interiors, and it's really freaking working. And I love this because people were really. There was a lot of talk about how the fast casual restaurant was dying and that nobody wanted to spend their money at a sit-down restaurant anymore. And I really feel like he did a great job of like analyzing the market and making changes that felt accessible. And again, I haven't been to the new Red Lobster, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready.
Let me fix a field trip. But I also like this is a glow up. Go ahead.
Yes.
Was it Damola? Damola's his name?
Damola.
Go ahead. But I really want to like double down on he listened to the audience. He went to the comments and was like, oh, this is what people are complaining about. This is what people are saying that they want. What can we actually do to listen to them, right? And make changes. And even if these aren't like going to stay around all the time, I appreciate the pivot because one of the reasons they got in trouble was that all you can eat scampi, okay? You can eat shrimp that they really couldn't sustain, So I feel like this is a really smart pivot. And I'm about a $5 drink. Give me a happy hour drink.
Delon's like, say less.
Say less. So Candace Owens, let's go on to this heifer. Candace Owens, again, like we said at the top, is being sued by the First Lady and the President of France. The Macrons' U.S. lawsuit attacked what it called a verifiably false and devastating lies being reported online by Candace Owens, that Brigitte Macron, who is the first lady, 72, was born a man. I forget what you call this when there's like something where you falsely identify somebody as trans or vice versa.
A lot of times people call like transvestigators is the thing that they've been saying.
I love the internet. I mean, yes,
but it's just transphobia, like plain and simple. And she's just obsessed with this conspiracy theory. She did an 8-part documentary series about Brigitte, and it's like, why do you fucking care? Like, it's just so bizarre, but this is what she's fixated on.
Well, it's also provably false, right? Like one of the biggest kind of controversies between Brigitte and Emmanuel Macron is that she started dating him when he was very, very young.
Yeah, when he was in high school. Which is like,
wasn't she his teacher or something like that? It was something really weird.
She was a teacher at his school. She was 39 when she met him, and he was 15. That is a story worth talking about, right? Absolutely. Like, that is absolutely inappropriate. And I think it is quite telling that instead of zeroing in on that story, Candace had to make up one. She loves a conspiracy theory, but she knows her audience loves transphobia. Right. And they don't care. Let's wake it up. They don't care when a woman abuses a boy. They don't care about that. Right. Because whenever those stories come out, people are always like, well, he's lucky. Oh my God. Well. There's always like this gross misrepresentation of the fact that women can also be abusers. But Candace knew that what her audience really wants is this weird conspiracy about somebody else's genitals. Like, mind your fucking business.
Well, let's talk about where this conspiracy came from. Not that, class, I know you don't care, or none of us really care, but it was some random French person who was like, hey, I am a medium and I'm tapping, honest to God, I'm a medium and I'm tapping into this spirit that tells me that Brigitte Macron was this guy, Jean Thoreau, something years ago. And now I am an investigative journalist. And I know that this is true. It's asinine. But to your point, it's like, it's so, it's such, low-hanging fruit, like blood for the MAGA base, which Candace propagates. And my question is, like, getting to kind of like fixing it a little bit, like, is this the only way that we tackle conspiracy theorists, right? Because we have Fox News was sued by Dominion Voting Systems after the 2020 election. They had to pay Dominion Voting Systems $7,787.
I didn't know about that.
Yes, they had to pay them $787 million, close to $1 billion for defamation. Because
I feel like that should have been a bigger, like, did that just come and go? Like, I feel like I just...
No, girl. Really you know me in my news. I was on it. I was on it. But then also Gavin Newsom suing Fox News for first them editing some video saying that he didn't have calls with President Trump that he actually did have, and they made him seem different. He's suing them. This is a little bit of a trolling. He's suing them for $787 million, the same thing that they had to pay Dominion Voting Systems.
Well played, Gavin.
Okay, Alex Jones, the crazy podcaster who had InfoWars was his show. Yeah. For years he was like trolling and
the Sandy Hook survivors, their parents.
Yeah. And he has, he eventually, I forget how much he had to pay them. I don't know.
He lost his whole business. He lost his whole business behind it.
So like, is this the only way is suing them?
I don't know.
Get these conspiracy theorists, hold them accountable, but also like to combat the conspiracy theories?
I don't know. I mean, I'm on the one hand, I'm really glad that they are suing her, but the reality is it's really expensive to sue somebody. And so I'm sure they are, putting out conspiracy theories and falsehoods about all sorts of people that don't have the financial means to fight back and do something. And lawsuits are expensive and they're also lengthy. They take it's not a fast process.
Right.
So on the one hand, I'm glad it's happening. I would also say, there's been transphobia levied at a number of celebrities of late. There were lots of conspiracies about Michelle Obama. I would love for her to fucking file some lawsuits.
Okay, the Williams sisters.
The Williams sisters. There was the boxer from the Olympics who I do believe
what they did to that woman. What they did to that woman.
She filed a lawsuit against one of the publications that was like pushing some of that stuff. Yeah, and listen, J.K. Rowling needs to come to the front because she was
all her money.
She was pushing a lot of that mess. So to answer your question, look, Candace is doubled down. She has come out and said,
down.
You could take everybody my money. I can't wait for Discovery. And it's like, one, it's just, again, the transphobia is bizarre to me, but like, mama, she's the first lady of France. Like, do you not see what's going on right fucking here on our home turf? Why do you care? Like, why do you care? But I just don't know if it's enough of a deterrent, because I would have thought after Alex Jones lost that lawsuit, a lot more people would say, you know what, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to slow down.
Right.
I'm good. I'm not going to fucking spread that stuff. But I don't think there's enough of a deterrent. The financial gain is such that like they can make huge money, and she will make more money leading up to this lawsuit. You know, again, it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's right. I don't know how their legal system functions. What do you think? Do you think that?
No, I think you're right. That was my thing. Like, I think she's actually going to make more money, or you know, the short-term gains are more important to her than the long-term gains. Because let's be honest, if it's just the podcast, Candace isn't doing very well.
Well, her husband is a very wealthy white man.
Okay, great. So she's fine.
Yeah. So she has.
So she'll be okay no matter what, right? So I do think like we need to hold them accountable in some way, and if it's lawsuits, I don't know what other lawful recourse we have, right? Because First Amendment is the First Amendment.
Yeah.
But to your point about if you don't have the money, then like that's how people feel like they can say and do anything. But I feel like this is kind of, even if it's not enough of a deterrent, it's something we have. You know?
I mean, I do. Again, I wish it was more of an actual deterrent. The thing that I keep thinking about is a lot of these people have never been in a fist fight. And I think more people need to get swung on. You know what I mean? Like, I just think at some point it's like, you know what?
Come up on my porch. I'm going to knock your Karen ass out.
We've done a lot of talking. Let's put the microphones down and just fucking go to blows.
God.
You know what I mean? I feel like some people just aren't going to. And again, and I say this like tongue in cheek, but like in reality, it also just feels like social media especially has given people this false sense of protection.
Yeah.
Where there's no real, you could say whatever the fuck you want. You can be a bully, and people would not say this shit to people's faces. And I just think like the physical consequences, the social consequences, they don't feel like enough of a deterrent anymore. And I think it's because people can sit in the safety of their home and say whatever they want. And like in real life, you would not be flapping them gums. You know what I mean?
Even the violence aside, like you've dealt with this in real time with your own kind of trolls and bullies on the internet. Like when you actually sit down with them face to face, they're not saying the same shit to you. Even Candace Owens. When Candace Owens was, they didn't really hold her to account. But when she went on the Breakfast Club,
oh God.
Right. She was there, and she actually had to deal with some of the shit she was saying about Black people, if not really being held to the fire. She was in the arena, right? And now she's moved on to, you know, the next thing that she can talk about, trans people, which is just it's a crime.
Yeah, I mean, listen, fuck the Breakfast Club. Like, I don't think that they have the spoons to really hold her accountable. But I will also say that's part of her strategy. And I think it speaks to the thing that we're talking about here. She's not going to go toe to toe with an Angela Rye. No. She's not going to sit down with somebody who actually can call her on her shit. And I don't know if you saw this. There's this terrible YouTube channel called Jubilee where they do these debates where it's like one person.
With, Mehdi Hassan was on one?
So they just did one with him, but they did one with Candace.
Oh, really?
And it was Candace versus a bunch of like feminists. And it was really quite telling that she really struggled. She really, really struggled. And one of my theories about why she struggled is she doesn't do well with other women. She really does not go toe to toe with women. And she definitely does not go toe to toe with Black women, because she knows that her little clever tricks that she uses with white men don't fucking work with Black women.
Right.
And so she got her ass handed to her.
You know what? I'm going to, as soon as I get off this call, that's what I'm going to watch.
Oh, it is. I mean, like, and fuck Jubilee. They platform some really terrible people. But I will say some of the clips that I saw, and again, it was the Black women that really fucking held her feet to the fire. And the first thing I thought was, oh, that's why she feels so comfortable at the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne. That's why she feels so comfortable talking to fucking Nick Cannon. You know, she doesn't talk to anybody who will actually come at her with facts and logic. She has gotten really comfortable with speaking in a way that sounds like she's really smart. Like, you know what I mean? Like she has so much confidence when she speaks, and she speaks so quickly, and she's good at all of these.
The
pace and the false equivalences. She's really skilled in that way. Like, if I have to give her any fucking credit. And so one of the Black women, I can't remember her name, but it was really telling. She spoke very slow and very like deliberately. And you could see Candace was like so rattled because she was not prepared for that.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Slow it down so that she can't talk over you, right? So that like you have control of the way you're speaking and not letting her get you anxious and turn up the conversation. Mm-hmm. I mean, I hope they take her for all her money. You know, I hope they take her for all her money. C'est la vie, as they say in French. This is one thing I wanted to talk about. I put in here. There's a new thing called a visa integrity fee, where select visitors to the U.S. will now have to pay a $250 fee to enter our country. Now, most European visitors use a visa waiver that's exempts them from anything like this. There's like reciprocity, right? But if you are a student who needs a visa, or if you're coming here on a work visa, you will have to pay a $250.
Students will have to pay this too?
Anyone applying for a visa has to pay this. Now, the rationale behind it is if you pay this deposit, then you'll get it back when you leave. We're holding on to your money so that, you know, very much like you rent a car or something.
But I'm not getting that deposit back. And that's fucking shitty.
there's no implication or indication on how you'll get that money back.
No, you're not going to get it back. No, this is a scam. I mean, look, not to say that America has ever been perfect, and we have lots of flaws, but it really just feels like Donald Trump has turned this country into like a big Ponzi scheme.
A big grift. It's big.
He's on the White House selling like watches and fucking meme coins.
He's currently in Scotland opening a new golf course. I mean, so we've paid tens of millions of dollars or whatever it is, hundreds of thousands, whatever, for him to go there to open a new golf course on Air Force One with secret security or whatever that's called.
Secret Service. Like,
it's crazy to me.
Yeah. You know what? Here's the other thing. Then a lot of people aren't going to come. I mean, our tourism numbers are already down.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen those clips from Vegas where like the casinos are just empty. The streets are empty. No one is there. And it really sucks because, again, it's the citizens who are going to feel it, right? Because there are tons of people, tax dollars, jobs. I mean, it's going to hurt a lot of people. But all of these measures, in addition to having this fucking fascist leading our nation, is making people not want to come here. And I don't blame them.
No. I mean, listen, it's already a lot to spend when you're middle class, lower middle class. It's a lot to take 2 weeks or however other countries are given more time to take 2 weeks and go somewhere. You're saving up a lot of money. And the idea that you could be stopped at the airport and be harassed before you come in on your vacation. Why would you come here to do that? Why would you even face the potentiality of that, right? No, girl, I'm all set. I will take my money to South America or stay my ass in Europe where we have plenty of beaches right over here. Okay?
I really cannot. Before even, taking into account this visa fee, I can't imagine why anyone would want to travel here. It's highly unsafe. It's very hostile. And I mean, listen, if you're outside of the U.S., class, pray for us. Light a candle. Spread some tea leaves. Sacrifice a chicken. Do something. We need you.
I'm telling you, for real. And I mean, the last thing I'll say about this visa thing is like, I don't know. We really are ignorant to the fact that you think no one's like the tariffs thing. You think no one's going to clap back at you. You think at some point we're not go. There are 12 countries where we now, or I think it's about 12, where we need a visa to go there. And there's a lot of our enemies: North Korea, Cuba, whatever, Venezuela. And I'm sure we're like, whatever, we don't care. But eventually, people are going to start Like we now need a passport to go to Canada. That wasn't a thing for the longest time.
Oh, wow.
We could just use our government ID, right? Our driver's license. And that's probably about 10 years old. But like, we can't get benefits. We can't get all these privileges and then keep spitting on people. Eventually people are going to slap your ass back. It's about time.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we've talked about this a number of times that we are very spoiled here.
Yeah.
And it's really unfortunate that some of us didn't fuck around and now we have to find out. But I think in order for things to change, like we as a country have to feel consequences in order for it to be real. And that is unfortunate. It really fucking sucks. It didn't have to be this way. You know, like it really didn't.
They said it wasn't going to be this way.
It really didn't. It really didn't. Let's move into our personal round robin. Delon, you kick us off because you've got this on here.
You know, why is it? I mean, you don't really deal with people on a regular basis, like on the street, because you're driving from place to place.
That's true.
But why is it whenever I have headphones in, or where I feel like whenever I have headphones in, or people want to have a full-on conversation. You see I have the headphones on. That is telling you I do not want to engage with the world, especially you, madam, sitting next to me at my lunch this afternoon, who kept asking me questions.
I did have that in an Uber recently where I was listening to an audiobook and the guy kept talking to me and I kept being like, I have my headphones on. I would stop to be like, yes, what is it? And he's just blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know, sir. I don't know. I'm listening to a book.
I'm reading. I
don't know what it is. I feel like, generally speaking, a lot of people just lack the social graces. And not to say that that's an excuse, but like the loneliness epidemic, I think, is just hitting people real hard. And so, again, if you have headphones on, that should be an indication. And I know when I lived in New York on the train, sometimes I would just have headphones on with nothing playing.
Yes.
One, because I was nosy and I wanted to like eavesdrop on what was going on around me. But also, I wanted to be left alone. You know, as a woman on the train, dudes are always trying to talk to you. I was like, no. I don't hear you.
I'm talking to my husband on my phone. And I also, you just like sparked a thought for me with the loneliness part of it. I wonder if people, this is my empathy kind of bubbling over, but I wonder if people look at me or look at anyone with headphones on and go, oh, they're really alone. Like they don't have anyone to talk to. So let me talk to them.
Maybe.
Like maybe they need someone to talk to. I don't. I absolutely don't. I want to be in my music. I want to be on my TikTok and living my life.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what people are thinking, but I also I don't know. I think people need to be comfortable with just like letting others be and like realizing that it's not necessarily your job to fix what's wrong with other people unless someone like opens the door, then you can walk through it. But like this idea of like seeing a stranger and then like projecting a whole story onto them about like, well, they must be doing this and they must be going through this is just like, or maybe I just have resting bitch face and I'm just, you know, like
I just felt very attacked because that is my neuroses. Is constantly projecting and thinking like, how I said that thing and how did she feel about it and what it like it, and it's like such a sixth sense of mine. It's just I innately am like, oh God, she's thinking, what can I do? You have that a little bit. Yeah.
No, not really.
Sociopath class. No. She's a sociopath.
No, you know, it's not that I don't ever overthink things. I think like I'm very much in a space in my life where I'm very direct and I would rather just ask you than write the story. Like I'm not that I'm confrontational, but I'm very much like, hey, like something you said the other day made me feel away. Can we talk about it? Or I'm getting the sense that like you're uncomfortable and I don't want to assume, but like, is everything okay? That's just really where I'm at versus like thinking too much about how somebody else might be feeling about a thing rather than just ask them. I don't know. It's just where I'm at in my life right now.
I hear you. And I guess like, I mean, that is very much how I function. But I think it's also, I guess it's empathy. It's empathy. It's being like, it's less like, I'm trying to be the best version of me that I can be around somebody. And how can I help? It's like, that's I think of it as my superpower, in fact. But the problem is when it bubbles over and it's like, then I'm laying in bed being like, I said that thing. Did that make her feel blah, blah, overthinking, knitting a sweater, as we say.
Oh, Delon, I thought you were in a place where you were kind of managing that better.
Oh no, I am. I mean, totally. Like, listen, I've been in therapy for years. It's a lot better. But, but that stuff never goes away. Yeah. It's like really, not to get in my therapy, but who we are, I've realized, comes from the experiences we've had probably often as kids, right? And so as you develop, that's a skill that I've learned to have because of how I grew up. And so now I'm able to identify it and go, oh, I'm doing that thing, right? Or the thing is happening. Well, class, get into therapy. Therapy is the best. Because like I didn't have language for it before. I didn't know why I felt those things, So yeah, it's getting better for sure. But I'm able to talk about it and identify it and have language for it now. So,
good. I love that for you. Yeah. Growth. Okay, I'll try to make this quick because I don't want to dwell too much, but I am struggling with some of the feelings that I'm having towards some people who were really nasty to me because I, expressed pro-Palestinian sentiments. And now here we are 2 years in to an ongoing genocide. Let's be real. It didn't just start after October 7th, but like we're at this place now where it feels like more people who've been on the fence or unable to talk about this are feeling more compelled with like the starvation stuff that's happening. And it's hard because I'm in a place where like, this is not about me, right? This is not about me. But man, I still feel a lot of hurt over some relationships that ended and some things that some people said to me, telling me that I was stupid, that I was anti-Semitic, that I didn't know what I was talking about, that they can't believe that Black people are falling for this and da-da-da-da-da. And it is so hard for not to be like, where you at? Where you at? Like I want so badly. And I'm just like, this is petty and like just not healthy and productive. But again, I want to give voice to it because I know I'm not the only one. I know that you felt this way.
We've talked about this off mic. We both have very similar situations where we've dealt with this. And I think I would argue or offer up the reason I'm having it too, right? A little bit of like, I didn't I say that? I told you so. Now what do you, now what's the conversation
now what do you have
having?
to say?
Right. And I think it's because like both of us approached it in a very like resolute, matter of fact way because facts.
Yeah.
But also we approached it like from a place of like, I love this relationship.
Yeah.
I love you as a person. I think we can have a substantive conversation about a very bad thing happening that I feel like our government and our country is complicit in.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's good. And feelings are feelings and everyone's allowed to have them. But like if our relationship is what it is in terms of friends,
that you should give me the bare minimum to like hear where I'm coming from on this.
And also because I gave it to you.
Yeah.
Because I would hold all the space for every feeling that you're having around that.
Yeah.
So my saying yes and if that's the crime, if that makes me anti-Semitic and if that makes me stupid and all those adjectives you described, then like that makes me feel like shit. And I think it's because of your defensiveness over the fact that you know the facts are true.
Yeah.
You know that it's a genocide. So I think you're completely justified. And like, I know that it's very, very nuanced.
Yeah.
But I'm in the same boat where I see you all day.
Yeah. It's just been hard. Like, I think for me, it was a matter of one person that was like a very long-term dear friend and another person who was like a new friend. And I cherished both of the relationships, but it was really disorienting, like the gaslighting and like the nastiness that I experienced from both of these people, and the mirroring in those conversations where it was like I felt like I wasn't talking to a person that I knew. Like suddenly I was just getting like talking points spoken at me, and I was just like, in one instance, I've known you for half of my life, and now you're like saying all these like nasty, heinous things to me. Because I don't think we should bomb innocent people. Like I was just like, what? This is what our friendship is falling apart over.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah,
and because it's a very similar thing happened to me. It's crazy. Like I'm just saying that it's bad that children are dying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and the idea that like that anger is coming at me because of that, I'm like, well, no. we're talking about human beings here. That's all we're talking about on both sides of everything.
Yeah.
And so like, and I think it's rooted in their history and
trauma.
Rooted in trauma. And I saw something recently that said, this is like, and this is from a Jewish Holocaust survivor who said, Hitler won. Hitler won. And I was like, wow, that puts him, because it's still happening.
Yeah.
Like what he did is still reverberating through time. It's nuts to me. It's nuts.
I watched this documentary that I think I sent to you called Israelism. Have you seen it?
I don't recall if you sent it to me.
Oh, I thought I sent it to you. It's really good. But what I really appreciated about it is it contextualized some things that I just hadn't really thought about in terms of like shared trauma, and that like if you don't, your trauma is your trauma, but that like if you don't actually do the work to heal from it, that it can kind of like cloud your vision. And that's what it really was talking about, that like there's so much fear around, the very realities of like you lost your entire family during the Holocaust and that this could happen again, but that fear has like clouded people's ability to see like that what they're doing to other people is not right. And again, it doesn't justify it, but like that was like a real like eye-opening moment for me of like, oh, this is like a past town trauma, and like the way that they are spoken to about Israel, and the way that they're basically told that Palestine doesn't exist. Like it's again, it was fascinating. It was terrifying. Class, if you haven't seen this documentary, I highly recommend it. It was really eye-opening to me. But when I was watching it, I just kept thinking about those conversations with those friends. And I just kept wanting to be like, and the documentary is made by two Jewish friends after they went on their birthright trips, and that they suddenly started being like, wait a second. And I just kept being like, God, but it would be so fucked up for me to send this to this former friend. But like, I still feel a lot of hurt over how our friendship ended, and why our friendship ended. And it's like bittersweet that we're at a place where like more people are talking about Palestine, but I'm also just kind of like, fuck, like what is it? Why does it take this in order to get people motivated? This many deaths,
like
this
literally
many photos of children starving. Like,
it's crazy because we've all seen those infomercials of, I can't remember, I don't if it's
Save the Children.
Save the Children, right? We've seen the people on the street like asking you to pay for something once a month or whatever that is, and so to see the images of starving children. And to know the reason that it's happening. It's not for the lack of resources, but it's because
there's literally like thousands of trucks with food sitting right outside. They just won't let them in.
Rotting. Crazy. The last thing I'll say I just want to double down on what we said about the relationship of it all. It's really hard to love somebody and invest in somebody, and then to have something that seems to be something that actually the relationship can help. The relationship can help whatever feelings you're having around the issue. And that's probably why you come to your friends to go, hey, I'm having this thing on my chest and I just need to get it off. And like the relationship is the thing that the trust of it helps you work through it, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to agree, but it's a safe space. And so like to have that broken where it should have been a safe space, I think is, that's the challenging part of it. And again, for me, it's also like I think about it regularly, friends of that friend I talk to on all the time. And I'm like, hey, how are they? I'm glad that they're doing okay, but it just sucks that like we couldn't have bridged that. It's really nuts that we couldn't have bridged that.
I think about all the time that like friend breakups are a thing that I don't think we talk about enough. Like people understand romantic breakups and even divorce. I feel like there's still a lot of stigma around that, but I don't feel like enough people really talk about when you lose a dear friend, that it's a different kind of grief. And I'm sad that we both have experienced this, but like, it does make me feel better to hear that you're like, I think about this all the time because it comes up for me regularly. Yeah. And it's like a little knife stab every single time.
It really is.
And I don't know. And I part of me wants to believe that there will be a time where we can repair, but like if a repair is going to happen, so much has to happen on that of other person's part.
Oh God, yeah. No.
And I don't, and I'm not gonna do the work. Like I can't be like, hey, who you want to? I just like you can come to me.
I was doing the work.
I did all of that to start. I did all of it to start.
Yeah.
I was like, meet me halfway. Let's talk. I'm not gonna do it now. So the ball is in their court. Let's move on to everyone's very favorite segment, the Glow Up, where we give props to those who've turned themselves around without our help. Delon, would you like to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
Great.
So class, Fran sent me a voice note. We send voice notes on a regular basis, and she wanted I'm currently in New York. That's why I'm in this little hotel situation. I'm working down here. And one of the things she said, she's like, "You using that little fan that your wife bought me in that hot ass New York City?" So the reason this is my glow up is because it's this amazing little fan that Fran got me when she came to New York, actually, when I was living here last year. And Fran, on the subway platform, it's a fucking life.
It's amazing.
Saver.
It's amazing.
But they're everywhere.
Oh, everyone has them now.
People have them everywhere. They have like little clip-on ones that go on your bag. They just go on your neck.
I got you yours before they had really taken over. Because I was at a party and somebody had one.
That's
and I was
right.
like, that's amazing. And then I went and bought it for you. And then they popped up all over like TikTok shop. And everybody is promoting them. So now they're everywhere.
Such a great little machine. I mean, it's like USB charged. There's different levels. It goes up to 100.
And it's cold.
Yes. The hace muy frio, okay? But people look at me on the train because it does pack a punch. It's pretty loud. I mean, I have my over-ears on, so I can't hear it. Yeah. But I'll see people's like little dogs looking at me. There's a little Dotson staring at me. I was like, why is this dog staring at me? And I was like, oh, because this high-pitched ass fan is annoying this dog.
Yes.
But yeah, that's my glow up. Thank you, Francesca. Thank you to the company who made them. Because you have to have them in New York, like you said on the voice note. New York, there's air conditioning, but mostly they're like there's no
a window
HVAC.
unit, not central air.
A window unit. I mean, yeah, even in this hotel, they have like a little window unit, you know?
Yeah.
So there's no air. And God, one of the worst things, getting on the subway train in the summer, and there's nobody in that car, and then you get on and you go, "There's no air conditioning." That's why there's nobody in this fucking car. It's the worst. So that is excuse me. That is sending me. That's my glow up.
Oh my God.
How about you?
Well, my glow up goes to, I'm going to say this glow up goes to me only because my neighbors are currently fostering 6 puppies. And when I tell you, I wanted to steal one of those puppies. First of all, Delon, I was walking Flex and my neighbor, we're close. Like I walk their dog sometimes, they walk Flex sometimes, and we talk all the time. And so we were outside and she goes, come over here, look on the balcony. So I'm like, what is she going to show me? She points down, there's a crate full of these puppies.
Oh my God.
I started crying. I started crying. I was like, oh my God, they are so cute. And so today I went over there and we just played with the puppies for like 40 minutes and they were just running all over us and whatever. And there was one that has one blue eye and one black eye. And I was like, this is my soulmate. And I was cuddling and loving on this dog. And I was like, Flex would kill me if I brought this dog home. Flex would eat this dog, but also I can't have 2 dogs. I can't have 2 dogs.
Girl.
One dog is hard enough. And Delon, I was doing the math. I was thinking about. I was like,
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say 2 words: emergency vet. Okay.
Oh, listen. This is what I'm saying. This is my glow up because there is a time in my life where I would have been like, yes, I'm good. I had 2 dogs at one point.
Yes, you did. You really did.
I had 2 dogs at one point. And I started like thinking through it. Like, could I, what would this look? And you know what? When I was there, the dogs were incredible. They were chewing on my jeans. One picked up my shoe and took my shoe off. One ripped part of my, I was like, oh yeah, no. Because they will destroy your house.
They're puppies.
They are puppies. But oh my God.
What kind of
the
dogs
biological clock was, oh my God. I don't know. There's some sort of mutt. They're like a Chihuahua mix or something.
Man.
They are so, honestly, I was like, I will eat you. I will put you inside my body.
God.
They are So, so cute. But again, the logic brain of mine took over and said, you can't do this. You can't do this. And I just want to say more people need to do that, because that's why the dogs are being fostered in the first place. Somebody left those puppies in a box at the park.
Well, listen, I just saw a news story, because you know me and my news. I saw a news story where there are at a foster or a pound
Shelter.
or
A shelter.
Thank you. A shelter in New York. They are maxed out. They have 1,000 dogs. And people keep bringing them in, but they're not bringing them in because they can't foster them. They're bringing them in because they can't afford them anymore.
Oh, yeah.
This is where our economy is. It affects every fucking thing.
A lot of people that got dogs during the pandemic. Another thing that I saw, because I am thinking I might try to foster, and my neighbor said that the reason they took 6 is to deter them from keeping them. They were like, well, if we have 6 of them, we can't keep all of them. So we know. And they were like, they have a trip coming up. And they were like, we are going on vacation in 2 weeks. So we really can't keep one of these.
Yeah,
and I was like, that is so smart. So I think I'm going to sign up to foster at this place. But a lot of dogs are coming through the shelters because their owners have been scooped up by ice.
Detained. Are you kidding?
And so they have a lot of dogs that are being and pets that are being left behind. So class, if you can foster, please, call your local shelter. But yeah, it's getting bad. And we had a lot of shelters overrun after the fires happened.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, I can't take my dog to the hotel or the Airbnb.
Wow.
And I had signed up then, but by the time I signed up, all the dogs had been homed.
Okay.
But yeah, I fell in love with these puppies, and just it's just fun to have a pup. Like, even the puppies are hard. It's and again, the thought of having them for a short amount of time and then helping them get a new home, that appeals to me. But yes, I can't take on the expense, and I can't have a little dog in here ripping my stuff up.
Right.
So.
Well, and also, like, you dog sat for one of our friends, Shamika, and how did Flex do with Nola?
Oh. He hated her. He hated Nola. He didn't like her.
So he
but
just
to be
would not
fair,
do well. He
but
would
to
not
be
do
fair, that's also when Flex had his little tail surgery, and so he had a cone on. He was
already annoyed.
He was already annoyed, and she is a puppy, and Nola was like, bah, 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 like she would be like,
well, because that dog was unruly, wasn't it?
Yeah, she really was. Yeah, so I don't know how he would do. He has some friends in our building.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
and he doesn't bite them?
No, he's become friendly with some dogs. There's a very small amount of them. It has to be a dog that's smaller than him. And I think, I don't know, the puppy, maybe he could do okay with, but he has some that it just depends. It just depends. Yeah. So, and you know what?
Me too, Flex. Me too. He's got to be smaller than me, and it depends. I'm selective.
He has to be a twink.
Right.
But I'm also thinking that it just might be good for him just to be socialized.
Yes, that's yes, 100%.
He would be annoyed at first, but then after a while, he'd have to realize, like, oh, and that's what happened with Nola. Eventually, he just got tired. He was like, fine, she's here. So maybe that will be our journey. We'll see. All right, class. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think that we are getting a Destiny's Child reunion for Act 3? Do you have kids? Why or why not? Was that shocking to you to hear that the numbers were down? What does your friend group look like?
Are you fostering a puppy? Or 6?
Or maybe you would like to suggest a television, a celeb, a brand, or a story that we should talk about in a future episode. Tell us in the comments or hit us up on Instagram @FixItPod or email us lemmefixitpod@gmail.com.
And we want your voices. You heard Christina at the top of this episode.
Yes.
That was beautiful. Send us a tagline if you so desire, and we might use it at the beginning of an upcoming episode. You already know we're here on YouTube, but don't forget to hit that notification bell and subscribe if you're very new. We're so glad you're here, class. We have new episodes every Wednesday. YouTube.com/@FixItPod, which are already here. But we love you. Thank you. I'm Delon.
I'm Francesca, and this was Lemme Fix It. Yeah.